If you cannot do this one, what are you gonna do after that? Are you just gonna die? Don't live the moment. Think about the future. Business is not for the fainted-hearted lah.
So, welcome back to Senimerge Podcast Part 2 Episode Chef Luqman. Tapi, maukah dipanggil chef atau tidak? Ataupun
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter lah.
There's some people who still wants to call me chef, but aku macam I'm just like I'm okay if you want to call me chef, okay. Tapi I am not a professional chef.
Yeah.
But I was taught by a professional chef.
Ya, itu kita ni kan mau tahu itu. Pasal ia pernah bekerja sama Michelin star chef di luar. So, pengalamannya tu kita ni mau tahu, kita ni mau gali macam mana boleh ia sampai bekerja sama Michelin star chef itu.
It was basically my second stunt in China. Basically, after I came back from the first one, came back to Brunei, went back again to China again. Tapi it's a different place, not in Shanghai. It's in a place called Moganshan. It's more to the mountainous area, a resort place.
Uish.
So it's like one whole resort lah, basically. That whole resort has 4 F&B outlets. One is like a pool bar, which is I was in charge, meaning to say there's a pool, an infinity pool, and we serve Western food lah mostly. And then you have all dining, which is basically the buffet, the cafeteria style. Then you have a bar, basically bar for people to drink and all. And then there was the fine dining one. So the fine dining one was in charge by this Michelin star chef lah. He is from Germany. His name is Stefan Stiller. At the moment, he has his own, I think, two or three places in Shanghai now. One is called Tian Table. The other one is a bit more casual. There's one up. I'm soon opening up soon.
The one you showed me hari tu yang ada website kita.
Yang
You said you got inspired from that restaurant. Atau yang mana tak? Is it that one?
No, that one is a different one lah. That one is like another chef that I look up.
I see. Bekerja sama Michelin star kan ni. Ia perfectionist kan tu orang
Definitely,
kira kan.
yes.
Macam ia menjaga reputationnya apa itu ni. So as pekerja macam mana the pressure?
At that time, I was not really dealing with him.
Okay.
Because I just deal with him. I deal with his wife usually. His wife is more to the service side. Because I was the restaurant manager. So restaurant manager is more to the front of house.
Yeah.
The chef was more the back of house. The back of house is more to the kitchen side.
Yeah.
Tapi we have communications
Yeah.
among that. So I got close to your wife, Yoshi. Her name was Yoshi. So she taught me how to do this kind of thing of service and things like that. Introduced me to his husband, and we start off from there. We start talking. We talk about food. We talk about this. I ask questions about, chef, if you do this and this and this and that, macam mana? How do you do this and this and that? Or he explains to me and this and this and that. And then after a while, I keep on asking because knowledge is forever. You learn as much as possible. You absorb it as a sponge. If possible, you absorb it as much as possible. So he saw something in me that there was only another person who saw something in me. We'll talk about him later lah.
Okay.
But so he saw something that he didn't see in all his other kitchen stuff before. So plus we speak English together. It's easy to communicate. So he said that, why don't you help out in the kitchen for a bit?
Yeah.
Because one of my staff is has an injury, which is he couldn't work lah. So I helped him lah. I went into the kitchen, taught me on certain things, what you do to do this, to do that. Yes, at the very beginning it was very tough because he's a perfectionist. Every Michelin star is a perfectionist on certain things, on how he does his work. So I had to follow how dia punya ways of cutting it. It's not a matter of like, you know, even if you potong slightly sikit pun salah.
Yep.
You know, you can, it has to be every because why it's supposed to be very accurate is because of the cooking process. So they have times bah. Macam certain time, macam cooking for this one, okay. When you cook fries, it needs to be 2 minutes, exactly 2 minutes. It
Yeah.
cannot be 1 second more, no, 1 second less. Has to be exactly 2 minutes. The steak has to be resting for 5 minutes because you cook it like this, because you want the juice to be go around the meat and things like that.
Yeah,
So it
yeah.
explains to me in details. That's where I get to know, understand in terms of discipline, in terms of the understanding of the chemicals or scientific chemicals in certain foods, which people don't really see. People only see macam, oh nyaman rasanya.
Nyaman.
But there is a scientific answer to why it does it like this, why you have to cook it in 2 minutes, why you have to certain flavors that you choose from certain ingredients, you mix it together. Why does it work like that?
Yeah.
You know, so that's where he taught me lah. He taught me into those kind of details. But on top of that, I also learned from the school aja,
Yeah.
basic things like that.
Yeah.
So that's where I started. He sees that, oh, he gets this very quick. You know, he understands what you need to be doing in this and like that. So at that time, he was away. I became in charge of that fine dining for at least 2 days only. So it was like, it was pressure though. Because it's like, I was just like following orders and all of a sudden it's like, okay, you're in charge for 2 days. It's like, okay, I'll try my best.
Tapi you bagi weekdays ke weekends?
Huh? Weekdays lah.
Oh,
Because he was
okay.
away for business trips so no.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
so I took quota. Even though it was not as busy as the weekends, but it was still busy lah.
Still busy, yeah.
The hecticness is there because needs to follow timing.
Yeah.
Because they do 7-course meals. They don't do like normal like
Yeah.
starter, main course, dessert. No, it's 7-course meals, and all of them are small dishes. They call it degustation menu. So all this degustation menu plays a part on certain flavors, on certain of the meals and all. So you have your starter, you have your pre-starter, you have your palate cleanser, you have your main course, and you have your pre-dessert, and you have your after dessert, and things like that. So it's like it's a process. It's a journey when you eat
Yep.
and those kind of meals and all. It is expensive, but it's a journey of experience of different level of taste, texture, and visual.
Yep. Apa erti fine dining itu sebenarnya? From your perspective lah.
The whole thing about finding to be honest, or certain, it all depends on the theme of the restaurant from the beginning. From the theme of the restaurant is like, you know, you have a restaurant which is sensory punya restaurant. What I mean by sensory, meaning to say, you're in the dark, you taste the food, and you appreciate the food from the taste. You don't see how it looks like, because it's like macam The Voice lah. You know, the judges turn around, you hear the voice, it's like, wow, the voice is very good. Tapi when you turn around, sometimes it's like, oh, he looks like that or she looks like that. People don't know. It's the same for food. Because sometimes people judge by looking at it first. Nyaman ke ni? Why is it like this? But if you don't see it and you appreciate the food and the flavor and things like that, and that's what whole fine dining is. You know, to be honest, it's fine tuning the ingredients, the main ingredients as the main dish.
Oh, faham.
Because not everybody macam you know, people think steak is sebesar-besarnya and then steak is the main dish. People don't think as the appetizer as satu. People don't want to order appetizer. People always want to go to the main course. Always like that. It's like, I don't want the appetizer, I just want the main course. Tapi, you know, the build up from the appetizer to the main course is to where the transition is.
Yes.
That's where you taste this flavor and then I said, it gets more wilder, it gets more bolder, it gets more intense lagi. And people don't understand that, and then that's why it's like, dapat juga tapi mahal juga. Pasti if you really appreciate food, if you really appreciate the ingredients and things like that, then you understand. Some places, the server will explain to you why we serve it like this, why it's supposed to be pan fried, why it's supposed to be boiled, why it's supposed to this and that. They explain to you, and that's a proper fine dining. To be honest, the fine dining is like, to be honest, a very very proper fine dining. The service sequence, like a normal service sequence, like Tuato, is basically you can say 10 steps in one whole sitting. Okay, fine dining can go up to 30 to 40 steps that you have to go through.
Okay.
And
Okay.
goes more detail on that.
Wow.
Yeah, because it's people pay for the experience, not only just for not only for the food, but the experience.
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
people don't seem to understand that, but
Yep.
people always say, "Oh, I'm going to a fine dining restaurant. I'm going to eat really good food." That's it. They think the food is the fine dining. No, it's not.
Yep.
It's the experience, the whole package
Yeah.
from the first step into the door. You are greeted how.
Yep.
You're being brought
Yeah.
to the table how, being shown the menu macam
Yeah.
mana, explained to you, upselling
Yeah.
and things like that. And those kind of experiences what fine dining is all
Yeah.
about.
Just in case, he's the owner of Urban Kitchen, Silly Ice. Itu yang most recent lah.
Yes, correct.
And then he's the owner of Gourmet
Consultant.
Consultant. Masa first time aku kenal was Urban Kitchen.
Yes, correct.
Urban Kitchen. Tadi kena kenalkan oleh our mutual friend si Sam. First time aku rasa your dish masa tu di Sahur Saturday.
Okay, yeah.
Masa melihat dia punya estetik tu, aku melihat wow, jenguk orang ni bukan biasa-biasa ni. Melihat dari jauh pun sudah wow, dia punya estetik crazy. Balik semula ke kereta, makan. Aku, wow, ini lain. Sos apa dipakainya? Kira kan rasa tu, aku ni pernah rasa sebenarnya. Pasal aku pun, kalau dulu aku suka adventurous on taste apa itu
Okay,
kan.
yeah.
Macam kadang-kadang buat di rumah apa itu. Tapi your menu tu, even masa tu aku sama bini ku aku rasa bini ku punya, ni pun lain. Apa ni? Sekali macam mana boleh dia develop barang-barang macam mana ni ku mesti find out ni orang ni kan. Sekali sudah berjumpa apa itu ni baru aku tahu padan tayo pernah kerja di China lah, pernah kerja di Hayat, dia pernah kerja di Singko patutlah. Sampai masa ni aku ingat ni apa rasanya, and that was last year.
Is it last year? Kah?
Last year punya Sahur Saturday tu. Last year.
Okay, alright. Yeah.
Last
Oh
year.
yeah, that was, yeah.
Oh, aku masih ingat. Tapi anyway, kira kan with all his experience, with all his knowledge apa itu ni, kira kan rugi rasanya kalau sekiranya orang akan buka restoran kah ataupun F&B kah without his consultation, memang rugi sebenarnya. Pasal ia membagi tahu detail dari A to Z macam mana akan run the proper way, the international way. So itu macam ada kena mengena sedikit sama Senimerge. Pasal Senimerge is a brand development company kan. So kami as much as possible kami menganukan brand di Brunei ni lebih banyak ke luar negeri. Tapi with all your businesses atau 3 business atau kira kan masa naik memang shock. Memang every business kalau naik shock.
Yes, correct.
Tapi kalau sudah ia down, untuk naik balik, what is your motivation?
I failed a lot. You know, when you fail a lot, you cannot stay down and demotivated because of that. You need to still keep pushing. No matter what it is, you still have to understand saying that, yes, it's a failure. Learn from it. How can you make you better from there? For me to be motivated to why I continue, it's because of my family. Every single person, they want to do well and make well for their family.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Yep.
Especially kalau you ada anak lagi. The
atu.
motivator is over there usually kan.
Atu benar.
Yeah. So because we went to the class before. And he was saying basically it's like, if you cannot do this one, what are you gonna do after that?
Yeah.
You know? Are you just gonna die?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you just gonna leave it like that or something like that? No, you have to continue. You have to push. You have to find ways. Not really find ways, but understand why did you fail at the very beginning. How can you change that to become much more better?
Yep.
Even you cannot be successful at a very very young age. Yes, nowadays there's many billionaires who are very very young. Tapi if you look at who's that? The owner of Airbnb, he failed
Yeah.
many times from the
Yeah.
beginning, and he became successful at what age?
Yep.
I think 45 years old or something like that. There's many that is like that. It takes time to be successful. It's not like that. It's a journey.
Yep.
It's like eating food, like fine dining and things like that. For business, it's also a journey.
Yep. Step
For
by
you.
step.
Yeah, you wouldn't like always naik bukit, and then when you start to crash, you crash, and then you don't know what to do if you crash. You will have like up down, up
Yep,
down,
yep.
up down. It's like foreign exchange, forex coba turun naik, and also naik, and turun, It's the same. It's the same for business as well. It's just a matter of you being smart, being ready for the next step.
Yep.
So, like what I always say to myself is, don't 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 live the moment. Think about the future.
Yes.
Try to find
Yes.
5-10 steps ahead. If something goes wrong, always be ready for it.
No.
Macam kalau if you're in a relationship, be ready for the breakup.
Uh.
You don't want to be macam sentiasa like sad in the house and things like that. So you be ready.
Yeah.
So it's the same for businesses or you, because business is like your baby. It's your future. I wouldn't say your future wife, but your future, because that's where you take care of it as much as possible.
Yeah.
Even though you fail, you try your best to find a way to turn it around,
Yeah,
to make
yeah.
it work.
Yeah.
Even though if you turn around, it's just a little, nggak banyak, it's still an improvement from what it was before.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
That's how I see it lah. It's business. It's not for the fainted-hearted lah.
Yeah.
It's not for the
No.
soft-hearted.
No.
You have to be disciplined. You have to be
Keras.
patient. You have to be keras. You have to be perseverance. You have to be proactive. You have to be always learning new things, even though it's not your comfort zone. But try to learn it as much as possible, because that's where you're lacking.
Yeah.
That's where everybody's lacking. Macam for me, I was lacking in marketing. When I started my business, I was like ego lah, basically. My food will go well, people will talk this and that, but I didn't have marketing. People didn't come. This was my first restaurant. Where Urban Kitchen punya first restaurant was in Kulab, di belakang Baiduri. Now Mas Talim, you know Mas Talim, di
Sugar
bawahnya.
and Spice.
Sugar and Spice building. That was the first restaurant over there we made. We wanted to make that restaurant to showcase as for Urban Kitchen, for gourmet consultant actually, for customers to see what we can do and things like that.
Yeah.
But the location wasn't great, to be honest lah. So
Okay, payah.
people didn't want to park di bawah
Yeah.
because it's too dark, very creepy in a way. So people
Benar.
setelah. But then I do still get returning customers who always comes to Kato, and I still get people sometimes when masa jumpa-jumpanya, when you opening your next restaurant, when you opening, because the food that we made at that time, Brunei was not ready, bah.
Yep. Yep.
There were certain people who knows how we serve our food and things like that, but at that time people were not ready for it. The country was not ready for it. Those kind of dishes were already available in Singapore, in Malaysia, in Indonesia, but Brunei masih macam macam trying to get to know this kind of cuisine, this kind of style. That's satu lah. That's a sad thing lah. So we had to close it down lah, because we don't really get many customers from there. Tapi the company still keep going. Government consultants still keep going, and now lah.
Since Senimerge is a brand development company, what is your favorite brand? Yeah.
My favorite brand in terms of
Apa saja in terms of, macam doesn't have to be local punya, international lah, of course.
It's a bit hard. It's very vague. It's like, is it in the food industry, or is it in the technology industry, or the sports industry?
Wah,
That's different lah.
banyak rupanya.
Because there's different segments on certain things lah. You have to understand on that.
Kirakan in terms of what you're wearing lah.
Or what I'm wearing.
Ataupun
I'm a simple guy. I like, to be honest, we go for macam branding wise, I like Uniqlo.
Uniqlo. Oh.
Smart, simple.
Minimalist.
Yeah, minimalist. I don't like to show rubbish.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes I do like to have
Yeah, yeah,
different
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
colors
yeah.
and all things like that. Like my like bright colors and things like I like that.
Okay,
Tapi
F&B
like,
lah, F&B.
okay.
F&B punya brand lah.
Itu pun lagi payah.
Lagi banyak.
F&B punya brand in terms of food,
In terms of food. Manufacturing, all those things.
manufacturing. There's this one brand I like so much. It's an artisan brand that not everybody knows about.
Oh.
It's very, very subtle, very humble, very quiet. But they produce caviars.
Oh.
And this caviar is actually from where was that country called? It was from Russia, if I'm mistaken. Ukraine or Russia. Yeah. That brand you punya tu, the elegancy, the elegant, the luxury, but it doesn't show it, bah. It doesn't show. The brand itself, you know, it okay, imagine it's just a small can like this. And then tabalnya cuma ni kali.
Is it the one yang selalu kena show off?
Yeah,
Macam,
so like
Atau
yeah,
kata?
they use it in caviar. They use it in canapes and other things like that. And it's the most expensive product. One of the most expensive product. Like one tub of like that and this steak probably I think it's like 50 grams kali dalamnya. And that could cost one small one could cost almost 500 US kali saja. Or is it over 1,000 depending on the to. And why I like about it, it's very subtle, very not showing too much. You don't want to show off, doesn't but it shows by your punya taste saja itself.
Oh.
So yeah.
Pasal aku tanya soalan atau pasal it connects with the next question.
Okay.
Kirakan adakah patut Bruneian punya products ada brand atau in your perspective general lah?
Yes, if you say in Brunei lah, kalau I say Brunei, to be honest, Bruneians are very talented.
Yeah.
They are very talented. They know what they want. They know the flavor. To be honest, Bruneian punya taste buds are bold, are very strong, comparing to other countries. To be honest, you know, our food is like hit your face. It's like hit your face. You know, it's like the flavor bursts in your mouth. It's like yeah, like that. That's Brunei punya profile punya food.
Nini ku cakapnya biar berkelahi di dalam tu.
Oh, yeah. Ngam tu. Tapi sometimes it gets too complicated. Certain flavors that is very delicate, you missed out. Tapi you know, just an example. Everyone's favorite buttermilk chicken.
Yeah.
You know, the flavor bursts over there. You have your sweetness, you have your buttery taste, you have your savory, and then you have your chicken. Number one Bruneian meat is chicken. Number one. So it's everything is in there, bah. You know, you have your sweetness, you have your savory, you have your other. Macam everything is like boom.
Lapar aku taruh sih.
You know. But you see, when you come to fine dining later, if you do dishes like that, you cannot do it. Because the flavors will fight, bah. That's why macam on
Dua-dua sudah tadi talan yang liar.
because
Macam
macam okay, when you come to fine dining, you start to something that is slightly to get stronger flavor for the flavor profile to go up.
Sekali tone down lagi.
Yes, and then towards the end it tone down a bit because you're closing the night.
Yep.
Before you go to bed or something, you're gonna close the night. Macam, okay, I don't want to get too excited. You know, it's like kids je kan. Macam kau bawa jalan, macam make happy kan bawa balik. You don't want them to be very happy. Kalau dapat tidur, you need to make them a bit tone down slowly. Macam okay, dying down and go to sleep. It's the same. So, Anta, if you want to say that, what's the question again? How does home base make the brand bigger?
Kirakan, is it necessary untuk business di Brunei ni macam ia level up into macam ada brandnya sendiri?
Everybody should, yeah. I believe so. Why would you want to be stagnant saja tu? You need to always grow. You need to find something what macam how can you grow from one step to another step? If you reach that, how can you go to another step? It's the same for all the companies in the world. Macam Facebook. Like, Facebook was started to like this. They started to buy Instagram. Instagram punya tu macam tu, and then they started to buy WhatsApp, how to do the communicating and things like that. So it's just the process of what is your milestone on each one, and things like that lah. Like, definitely. Every company should. Why would you wanna be stagnant saja? You wanna grow. You wanna be bigger.
Kenapa start di Brunei kan?
Yalah.
Mesti keluar aja kan?
Correct. If you have the opportunity, why not?
Iyalah.
But for me, it's like I had my vision of it already. So it's like coming back to Brunei, I wanted to bring the experience that I have into the Brunei, to build the F&B, not the F&B saja, the hospitality, the tourism of the country. To be honest lah, that's what I wanted to do.
Nice, beautiful. So kita ni kan berehat dulu untuk part 2 ni. Kita ni akan sambung lagi di part 3. Alright, see you.